Hey everybody, and welcome back to another X-Plane 11 stream. We're on the ground here in Shannon Airport, and we're going to have a look at the new Lockheed Lodestar. This came out on the org yesterday. It's from a developer called oliXsim, and we're just going to take it for a quick flight. We'll have a look at the modelling and the texture work, the sounds and features, and see what it's like in the air. So that be the plan. I do hope you're keeping well as we pan around here. We can go ahead and disappear our music here. Alrighty, so this aircraft, so much history behind this thing. I won't bore you with all the details, but we'll do a bit of reading up on it because it's interesting. The Lockheed Lodestar is an all-metal mid-wing transport known for its inherent stability and ease of manoeuvrability. These would have been a huge competitor to the Douglas DC-3, and I think this is the Model 18 version where they stretched it out. You're able to fit another couple of rows of seats and ultimately carry more passengers. So they've saw service in a lot of countries, kind of pre-war and after the war as well. So they're a cool looking plane. So the features that you get with this aircraft, there's actually a fair bit to it. The modelling and texture work and the sounds, from what I think, they're okay. Like, they're not bad. But certainly a lot of the systems have been modelled in it, which is great to see. And it has a couple of nice extras. You can see the chocks there, and it has the steps going into the back. And there's a good chunk of liveries with this as well, both civilian and military. So that's always good to have. So if you're in the chat there and you want to say hi, by all means say hi. So we'll jump into the cockpit here and just get some settings done up here. So that comes with the usual kind of reflections and whatever else. So you have a control panel down here, which I have saved. So you have your door controls, the pilot animation. It's not great. I'll show you now in a sec. You have different HDR lighting settings, and then the glass reflections on the instruments. I turn them off. Again, it's just a personal preference kind of thing. There are a couple of extras in here. You can open the windows when we unpause it, and you can hide the yoke, which is handy. You can open both windows there if you want. So looking overhead, the modelling work, it's not too bad. This aircraft is $24.95 US, so it's not an expensive add-on by any means. And I think the developer's done a reasonable job with the texture work. So I think it's kind of nice. So we'll jump outside and just have a closer look at some of the details here. So the use of PBR and the reflections and all that, they're grand. I don't see any issues with them. Obviously, the closer you get to the aircraft, then you can kind of see then where the modelling and the texture work kind of hits its limit or its boundary. One advantage to having this, though, it's very light on your FPS. So it's an aircraft that is easy enough on your frame, so you should get good performance with it. If you look in there, you can see the dudes. They're well, yeah, they're. But look, you can turn that off if you're not a fan of it. So let's turn them guys off. Yeah. Now they should be looking less kind of, Anthony O'Shea, welcome to the chat. How's it going from the Wexford man living in Nottingham? Glad to have you with us. A Wexford man living in Nottingham. There's got to be a joke about that somewhere, right? Yeah, one thing here, you can see with the window open, it's kind of just going through the panel. But again, look, these are relatively small. Nice work on the engines on the cowls here as well. The exhaust coming out. The landing struts look fairly decent. The wheels are alright. Bit of detail in behind the braking system and the suspension. Number of all these other elements here, from anywhere from antennas to various sensors, and you have the cables then as well, depending on your own settings. They look fairly alright. They don't really fall apart. So it's all kind of grand. The engines themselves, the animations, they're all right. Nothing moves except for the props. But again, it's fine. Like, it's grand. So that's kind of where we're at in terms of the modelling work and the texturing. Like, it's not bad at all. As I said, it comes with a number of liveries as well. So this is an Australian one. There's a number of military ones. It has British and American. It has a picture, paints 1,000 words. Let's have a look to see. If we go into flight configuration, you mightn't see these too well, but I'll talk you through them. So we have TAA, we'll go all the way down to the bottom here. So US Navy, TWA, TAA, an RAF transporter, plain white, national, as in I think it's Star National, don't know enough about them. MCA are there, it's KLM, Good Time Gal, that's the US Army one, and then the default. So you get a good view with it. There's 3 different types of variants with it. So you have obviously the civilian one. There's one that the default Garmin GTN 430 works with it, and the military variant, I think it's a C60. So they're all there as well. And then if we move around the surfaces here, for a tail dragger, it does have the ability to lock the back wheel or unlock it. So if it's unlocked, your pedals will control, which is really handy. Otherwise, you're kind of relying on your toe brakes. But again, it's going to be personal preference. But the surfaces move, they're very fluid. There's no issue there at all. There's no sounds when you hit the extremities of it, but like it's grand. Right, so we'll jump inside and we'll have a quick look here around the cockpit. So all the dials and everything works, and they are 3D because I checked. But if you get in good and close to them, you can see that they are actually 3D dials, which is a nice touch. Like it's very easy. I won't say it's easy. Designing aircraft and X-plane is not easy, but it's very easy to have kind of flat panels. So I like to see that. That's a lot of work has gone into this. Also with the interior textures, not too bad. Like they're going for the kind of leather wrap around it. This control box is really handy. I do like that. You can open and close the window. Across the dash here, there's nice kind of chrome work here, nice reflections just on this bar going across. The lighting is fairly decent as well. The overhead, everything pretty much works. Everything that's modelled works, which is great to see. So if we ramble into the back here, so with the other variants that you get, it'll either be a kind of a plush seating arrangement like this, or the military version that'll just have the 2 kind of benches running their way all the way down. So yeah, so it is nice looking. Gamston Flying School. See about doing your PPL. That's great, man. Yeah, PPL. I've done a couple of hours. It's great. It's fantastic. Flight sims are a great bridge to it, especially if you use your flight sim in a way that I don't, as in just hopping in and kind of going for a quick flight and messing around. But certainly the voice procedure, navigation, and a lot of the procedures are great. They're a great help when you're going for your PPL. Yeah, so that'd be the modelling. So what do you think? It looks okay. I think it looks okay. Anyway, I digress. So let's see, can we get this thing up and running? So we'll close the door. We're going to go to our overhead here and get some power in. Battery coming on. Get some lights, beacon, strobes and nav. Turn our generators on. Get our radios on. Actually, we don't get our radios on. Start the engines first, otherwise we'll create all sorts of headache. Now there is a bit of a caveat here trying to move the mag switches. So down here, if we have a look, so you have your trim, aileron and rudder, you have your flap position, you have mags left and right, you have an ignition, your parking brake, elevator, obviously your landing gear up or down, you have fuel tank selectors here, left and right, and then we have our prop, throttle, mixture. And if we continue up, we have a few more bits and pieces here. We have your supercharge and you have your tail wheel lock over here. So it's fairly well kitted out. Outside view, there's Steve Barker. Welcome to the stream, dude. So with our little lights flashing here, nice animation with the lights. We'll change the time of day later on. So this artifact we have going here, I have the window open. So Again, this is the initial release of this aircraft. It only got released, I think, yesterday. So yeah, I imagine we just need to launch it out. So we can have a look at that. 1 second now. So just reading up here on our procedure, making sure I haven't missed anything. No, we should be good. Okay, so we got to prime engines and do all this stuff. So the fuel tanks need to come on, left and right. So we'll turn these guys on. Go ahead, set our prop mixture to full rich. So fuel pumps, go for the right engine first. Fuel pump and primer. Now I don't know that pump sound, it just kind of goes off fairly quick. I don't know, is that supposed to happen or not, but we'll see. Now if we go in here, the mags are devil to move, so ignition in. There we go. So we'll keep our mags on here just for this sec. So that should be everything on the right engine. We've got a good start, oil pressure coming up. RPM around 1500, where it needs to be. Fuel pump coming off for the right, even though there's a sound again. Maybe, I don't know. So right hand side, fuel pump's on, set our primer. And we'll go for the starter. And there's a good start on the left. So the props are now synced. RPM on both engines sitting at around 1500. No, they're not. Manifold pressure is 1500. RPM sitting at 1000. All the dials and stuff. Anyway, fuel pump can go off. Avionics switch up here. Turn that on. And then we turn on our comm and nav channels, and as you click them you'll see these orange lines going off. Fabulous. Go ahead, get some landing lights on, a taxi light, pitos can come on, and they do actually model rain effects and icing. Now it's basic, it's really basic, so no smoking signs and lights. Close in our window here. Alright, jump outside, get an idea of the sounds. And you can see here with the landing lights as well, so they are modelled. They extend down from the wing, which is cool. Now, one thing I will say, it's advertised as F-mod sounds, but this sound that you're hearing now of the engines, it's on a continuous loop. I don't know, is that the way it's supposed to be, or is there a bug? But there's certainly no kind of Doppler effect. If the aircraft's flying over, it's the same sound. That's a bit of a pity. But you'll hear that once we do a flyby. Okay, we're looking alright. To remove our chocks, we have a little kind of button here. Remove all control locks before takeoff. You click that, that should disappear your chocks and stuff, which it does. Okay, so we're going to taxi this out of Shannon. So we're going to hit our brakes here. Park and brake can come off. Play a bit of music here as we're moving, just to kind of break it all up a bit, because we have a small trek down to the runway. we're looking okay. Testing our lights here as well. Marker lights. And we have an autopilot system here. We'll have a look at that now in a sec. Okay, so as we approach the runway, we're just going to do a right turn here and bomb it straight out. So frame rate wise rather, it's on my system it's a piece of cake. It's very easy on the frames. It's not a demanding aircraft at all, and it adds just kind of a nice bit of something different to your X-Plane experience. Like, I mean, it's great to see. I'm a huge sucker for these old aircraft, anything from the DC-3s, and they're just fantastic. And I know Flying Iron, is it? They're working on a Lightning, which is going to be awesome as well. So I do like these type of aircraft. And we can deploy a shot of flaps here. Just to show them off. Alrighty, so we're going to get ourselves lined up here. Do a quick couple of checks just before we head on out. Okay, so lights. Stop her there. So lights are good. Pitos are on. Lights are all okay. Power settings, they're all going to come in full whack there now in a sec. And that's us. Good to go. So, make sure you're into fully rich. Ease off the brakes. Slowly pushing our throttle forward. A good shot of right rudder is required. Get ourselves pointed here in the centre line. Airspeed is well alive now, passing 80 knots. And it's as easy as that. Keep the nose down to pick up our speed. Bring our landing gear in. Close in the flaps. And start our climb. So I'm using XP Realistic Pro. That's where we're getting the vibrations and shakes and stuff. But I think it kind of adds to it. The RPM's back ever so slightly. There's our middle marker light coming out of Shannon. So you have your gyro reset. That's what you're hearing there now, just to keep our heading indicator where it needs to be. So on the main panel is just this guy down here. That's for syncing your heading. Speed is good, good climb, picking up good altitude here. So I'll show you the, or you can hear the sounds. So I don't know, is that the way it's supposed to be or it's a bug? I hope it's a bug, because like, you know, there's a number of things I like about this aircraft. I like the price, I like the modelling, the texture work is okay, the use of PBR is okay. It's feature rich, as in there's quite a number of features in it, which is cool. The sounds have a lot to be desired, so I'm hoping it's a bug. So we shall see. So we will continue on our climb here, open up our little X-plane map. Okay, so let's see, can we mess with the autopilot. Okay, so we have a heading, our master switch, and then our altimeter. So our heading, 24, how do we turn this guy? Crossing is okay, bank is okay, landing gear up. We'll figure this one out now in a sec. So heading, autopilot master, heading on. So we have a turn coordinator here. Maybe it just locks your heading in. I need to read up on that. Pitch is fairly lively. Speed is good at 165 knots. Elevator trim indicator down here. Fuel tank's looking good. Yep, everything looking fairly decent. So we have some nice ortho scenery here around Ireland. So we'll continue our climb, coming up on 7,000. So we can see with the animations here as well. So the radials, well, they're not radials, but like you can see the prop turns, and that's pretty much it. So bring in our landing lights. It's nice and all, but like that would put you asleep, wouldn't it? God. Choice of music, Murph, fantastic. That's the exact reason I didn't end up as a DJ. Could you imagine? You'd be launched off the radio. I was about to say screen there. I wouldn't end up there either. So yeah, so that's kind of what I see on the modelling anyway, and the sounds. I'm a little bit let down with the sounds, but it flies well. It's easy enough to fly. It's responsive. It's fluid. We can mess around with it actually. In saying that, turn off a little autopilot here, and let's see, can we cause all sorts of mayhem. So bring our throttles all the way back here. Let's see, can we give this guy a stall. So engines at idle. Airspeed is dropping back. Keep that nose up. 100 knots. Nose is starting to get a bit heavy now. 80 knots. Interesting. Doesn't really want to stall. I have the stick pulled fully back and it's just kind of hanging around there at 80. Now we are definitely losing altitude, but it's kind of strange, isn't it? Characteristics of a stall doesn't seem right. Let's try it again. We'll be a bit more aggressive in our climb here. 60 knots. Nope. Like, we're losing altitude. Technically, we're in a stalled position, as in we've lost lift. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Okay. Let's try rudder here. So we're back to speed here, trying to level. So we'll fly full right. Yeah, that's not too bad. Full left. It's not too bad. Okay, so maybe a bit of work on the stalling. Okie dokie. We'll head back to the airport, and we'll change the time of day here. There's instrument lighting over here. Turn these guys up, and we'll drop our lighting here. Which isn't too bad. There's a bit of lighting in the cabin as well. Yeah, it's not too bad. Kind of dome light there, and no, they're decent enough. The lighting is not bad. Jump outside. I would say basic but effective. Yeah, not too bad. Okay, bring our speed back here. We can start descending. Hey Josh, how's it going, dude? Nay crack, all quiet. We're having a look at the new Lockheed Lodestar from oliXsim. $24.95 US cents. It's not bad. There's a couple of things. There's a few limitations with the sound and some of the physics or flight characteristics, in particular the stall. But that could be just me as well. Usually when a plane isn't doing something what I think is going to be predictable, chances are I'm not doing what I should be doing, if that makes sense. With this product though, it does come with a fairly beefy manual, like nice work has gone into the manual. And you have a number of different procedures and stuff as well. As I go looking here, try not to crash. The passengers would have bailed out by this stage. Keep that going there, like that for a second. So with the extra paperwork you get with the aircraft, Lockheed. So you have the automatic flight system, ice and rain. So the de-icer and de-icing systems are modelled. You get the pilot's handbook, the automatic flight system, which is technically your autopilot. Yeah, it's like it's fairly in depth. Like there's just quite a bit of work gone into it. And oliXsim, he's also released the was it the Junkers JU52? It was the Junkers or Junkers JU52. That's also for sale on the xplane.org, and it's on sale at the moment. There's $5 off, so you can pick that one up for $24.95. I don't have it. I've never tried it. But if any of you guys have tried it, let me know what it's like in the chat below. Yeah, like it's not bad, and it does look nice. I will give them that. Like where am I pressing? The plane looks nice, and it's a really interesting plane, I think. So, if a bit of work can be done on the sounds, and maybe just have a double check over the handling of it, you're going to be onto a winner. I have X camera set up as well, that's why we're all a little bit jumpy. $3,000 feet. Go ahead, get our landing lights back on here now. And actually we'll put the taxi lights on just for the sheer crack of it. I keep raving about it. My last couple of streams have been straight over on Twitch. I like Twitch. But I've been saying that the ortho pack from Vertical Sim, or Vertical Simulations, it's fantastic, guys. If you like flying in Ireland, you gotta get it. It's free. Now it's a beefy download, but it's colour corrected ortho imagery for the entire island, and it's fantastic. Zoom level I think is 16, so you got to be up around kind of 2,000–3,000 feet to kind of appreciate it. But it's very good. There's an airport out here somewhere. I haven't landed this thing yet, actually. This could be good, bad, or disastrous. Runway's over here on our left-hand side. Speed's at 100 knots. We'll stabilise at 2,000 feet. So yeah, should be okay. It'd be interesting to see how we land this. We shall see. Our landing gear here as well. Quite an impact on drag, so they're working. Landing gear indicator right down here, locked and down. So 120 speed on our approach. We're a little bit high, so we can start descending again. We'll take it in for a landing here, and let's see what happens. There's other sounds there, and I'm not quite sure what they are. They're not fuel tanks moving, so. Who knows? In terms of handling, if you guys have any of the DC3s, they're very comparable. They're very similar. You get that sense of weightiness behind them. They don't respond well to kind of fast and agile movements, even though you could probably roll this thing into a barrel hole, I'd say, and it wouldn't give out to you too much. So mixture's rich, prop is full. Our proppy lights are coming alive here now, so we're just slightly above, but we're okay. There is quite a roll to the right. So we have a tiny bit of wind here to contend with as well. Okay, we're on the glide slope here. We could go with a flap landing, but I don't think we're going to need it. It's slow enough. Famous last words. Should have used flap. Very kind of subtle movements just with the joystick and rudder pedals just to keep us as close to that centre line as we can, so it's responding quite well to that. Last couple of feet to go. There's a middle marker light. Bit of wind hitting us now. We're still okay. 90 knots. A huge sink. Watch our speed here now. 80's okay. So. Keep the stick back and gently lower the back wheels. Not too bad. If there was a landing indicator, I'd say it smashed off the screen, but it wasn't that hard. That was alright. Anyone suggests we look at the replay, leave the chat immediately. I'm only kidding, we'll have a look at it. The hand is okay on the ground. For a tail dragger, it's fantastic. There have been tail draggers on X-Plane before which are a nightmare to move around. It takes you ages to learn them. Now you can argue that's some of the fun, but some of them are just so unpredictable. They're a nice looking plane though, aren't they? Trans-Australia Airlines. You're a long way from home sitting here in Shannon. Stop loitering on the runway here. Alrighty, so we'll bring up the replay. Let's have a look at that landing and see what we think. So we can stop here, park and brake on, go to replay mode, drag it back here a small bit. You swear I've done this before. Is that the one we want, or is it this? Oh, this one. Okay, bring it back here a small bit. I'll probably do it. Let me think. D. All right. We're looking alright. Bit of lefty righty. We have some sort of a heat blur here. Kodunk. We kind of landed on all three. Which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong, it's not great. But it's not bad. How's that? Yeah, the sounds. That's not too bad. On all three. DHP production, where's the beer? No flying in Ireland without a big pint of beer. I agree with you totally. And I approve totally. Yeah, it's not bad. One times. Oh, how do we turn this off? 1.5, 1.6. How do we turn this down? Two times speed. How do we do? We had it. Rendering speed. Okay, there is a button here we need to fix before our little sim breaks. Keyboard, is it render speed? No. Speed. Speed. Control T or Alt and T. Okay, that's ground speed. Okay, so how do we kill this one? There, okay. I thought we broke it. Hampus! Hey Hampus, how's it going, man? How are things? Yeah, beer is a good idea at this stage. So we're having a look at the new Lockheed Lodestar. It's not a bad plane for $24.95 or cents. I think the modelling and texture work are okay. The flight handling, to an extent, is perfect. I think it's just the stall. I need to do a bit of homework on that. The sounds, I think, are where the plane kind of falls a little bit. Inside, they're okay, as in there's nice engine sounds, you know, but the exteriors are a little bit to be they're a little bit to be desired. So we got ourselves taxied back here. 13 hours working on a trailer, Hampus. 13 hours, man. 13 hours? That's dedication. I've changed up my PC, I think, since the last time we were chatting. So I've had to like reinstall all my Adobe stuff and all the settings. I'm still working actually on the settings, on the render settings, for outputting videos. And I'm working on graphics and intros and all this kind of stuff. I've been working on that for the last couple of days, just to give a bit of a boost to the channel, because I'm liking the streaming. And we have this, we've news of Microsoft's Flight Sim having a release date now on the 18th of August, which is going to be fun on the stream. I've been alpha testing that for quite a while, and I can properly tell you, because they've already released it, they have Donegal Airport rendered, highly rendered, and it's fantastic. In particular with the weather effects coming in, it'll absolutely blow you away. It's phenomenal looking. So it's good to see Ireland getting a bit of treatment in the new sim. I can't even taxi the plane and you're suggesting beer. That's just not going to work. Actual. If we were to put on the lock, so you'll see now that our rudder pedals do nothing, but your toe brakes do. So you can get a real tight turn like that. That was pretty cool. Anyway, so we'll get this thing shut down. Avionics now coming off. Oh, the wipers work. Cool. Taxi light, landing lights, they can all come off. Strobe light can come off. That was the T for flashlight. It can't read AVI anymore, so you have to convert all your files. Oh, that's disastrous. Yes, Hampus, I am from Ireland. I don't know if it's a good or a bad thing, but that's where I'm from anyway. Sure, isn't it great crack? We had Anthony O'Shea, who's from Wexford, living in Nottingham. So there are quite a few of us Irish in the flight sim community, which is great. And I'd like to see more, like with Microsoft Flight Simulator being on Xbox. Hopefully that'll bring more people into the sim world, which is the more people the better. Like it's going to be good news for everyone involved in it. The reason being is you now have more demand for better optimization, more aircraft, more scenery, the more people involved, you're just going to get that. In saying that, I don't think X-Plane is going anywhere, because I think they still have they're still part of the smaller setup. They're more kind of personable. They'll deal with you. They're happy to deal with you. You can talk to the development team. You have access to the development team. Hell, I was emailing Austin last week. We were chatting about something. So like, you don't have that with the bigger companies, and it's a great thing to have with X-Plane and with Laminar Research. And there was a podcast that he did. Heard it on the way you said 13, because you can't pronounce it. Or 33 and a third. But yeah, the example I've been able to chat to, be it with Austin or with Ben or any of them involved with Laminar Research, that's a great thing to have with the sim, I think. And historically, where Microsoft have been at with their various flight sims, it tends to be more production companies, if you like, or departments who are looking after it, and then they kind of present it up to whoever in Microsoft that'll say, yeah, that runs or that finishes. It's more corporate, I suppose. But anyway, I digress. We've got some music hopping here. So this aeroplane, imagine if I killed the mags. Yep, that'll certainly do it. And that should be all our gadgets and gizmos open again. Alrighty. So guys, that's pretty much it with this aircraft. It's new, it's relatively cheap in terms of its price, it's feature rich, the modelling and textures used to PBR, it comes with a good few liveries, it's a very interesting aircraft to have, the performance is phenomenal, and again the price point is spot on. Some of the caveats to it, not quite sure where it's at with the flight handling and the sounds, but apart from that, I like it, and there's great history to planes like this, so I kind of like this one. So I'm going to cut this stream here now. I'm going to come back on in a couple of minutes, guys, so if you want to give it a couple of minutes, we're going to do maybe some chopper flying and just kind of boot around Ireland. We'll stay in Shannon here, but we'll change up our aircraft. So I'll drop this stream and I'll come back on in a couple of minutes. So until the next video, look after yourselves, keep well, stay safe, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So for those of you who are sticking around, I'll see you in a minute, and the rest of you, I'll see you really soon. If you like the video, do hit the thumbs up button. It lets me know to keep going with this sort of content. I'm mad to try other games as well. I know we did a set of Corsa Competizione. I've been playing what's it called? Call of Duty, and I'm really bad at it. It's crap. Like, I'm really, really bad at it. But it's funny to see how bad I am at it. So yeah, we might have a look at that as well. So until next time, guys, take it easy.